I love it. I love this system. Let's get right into it. Hobbywing Fusion SE 1800 kV 40 amp 2-in-1 motor, brushless setup, so motor and ESC all in one. What a great setup this is. Best crawler setup that I've had yet. Granted, I've only really had the Traxxas into the Hobbywing 1080 and then right into this. Great value for what I've already experienced with this. I got this $79.99. For that, again, that price is including a brushless setup, 1800 kV, and the ESC, very compact. You'll see here that really you're going to have your motor can there. The ESC is all involved with that, so it's just a power on button and a running to the battery. So a lot of setup you can have right up front, very close to a motor, and keeping all your weight forward distribution. Get that mounted up, and there's a calibration setting that you can do on it. This thing is super smooth transition for a brushless, not choppy to start up. You'll see that moves super slow and has a lot more power. Even 2S, 3S, didn't get a whole lot of video of the actual power on it behind it, but I'm sure you can find that somewhere. Really, I was focusing on the smooth startups, the trim settings that continues to give you that FOS system, power through everything. This is the auto calibration here. If anything ever happens, it says really it stops working, act funky, something like that. Just run the auto calibration. That's in the instructions. So a little bit of the takeout, and then we'll hop right into putting it in and some tips and tricks, and then some video of it running. One thing to think about, it was a quick fix. I didn't have to put the whole thing in. I wanted these wires facing up when you're putting in your motor mount. For the Traxxas, that's in the letter C. Third one on each side. But I just reconfigured that real quick because I want these wires going straight up, not going underneath or off to the side. To me, that's just kind of how the setup. So think about that when you're putting that. Before I throw in the Fusion system, see I've got a lot of stuff going on here, and hopefully this should clear it up. Taking out the Hobbywing 1080. Alright, got the 1080, got the receiver box open there, got that out of the receiver box. And it's the Traxxas light kit here. It's still my winch. Another thing I'm going to do here quick is just set the throttle control while the receiver is unplugged, easy to get to. Just have the motor facing up there. First setting the throttle endpoints, and what we do here is just like the auto test, you're going to hold down the button though and just till it blinks red, and then you can go neutral, forward, and back. And it'll blink once for neutral, twice for forward, and 3 for back. It's all in the instructions. Alright, this is with the system in now. It's a lot cleaner. I still got to find a spot for this, and maybe right up front. This being a trail truck and also kind of all around, use it for crawling, trailing. I've got my winch set up here, Traxxas light kit set up here, which I'll show you briefly on how that connects through. It's really just a direct line into the receiver. I have an extra port there. If you wanted to, without this, I mean, you're crawling, I got my bigger battery in here, this could be kind of removed out. You're talking, if you've got this set up here with the small pack in the front, you don't even have a winch, I mean, it really could be motor, splice this, get rid of a lot of that wire, battery right to the front, small little on-off button. You could have all your weight right in the front of this thing. I might use a small pack, anyways, it's what I like up front for crawling when I do a comp or something, which I don't, we just, our local comps here. Getting rid of this big battery pack and just going right for that system right up front. So just thoughts, just to let you see how compact and little this could be. But it did save some wires. I got rid of the ESC here, which is huge, and Still got cleaned it up, but that's what you get for the love of lights and having your rock lights going and loving the light setup all around. You're gonna want something with throttle trim for this setup. If you saw earlier in the video, full disclosure, I had the Traxxas receiver and remote, but I only had the TQ version without the trim, and the only trim on there is steering. Doesn't have throttle trim, so you're gonna need something like that to get full use of this system. So full disclosure on that, you're gonna want a setup so that you can set that so that you can just set it and forget it. Alright, for video purposes, I'm gonna kind of go hands off here. Got the truck, got the body on this thing. Just gonna turn the trim so you can see a little bit more speed. Just so you can see, this is gonna maintain when it hits this bump and then up to this ramp here. It does not lose any of its speed as it crawls. Okay, in here, I'll just throw this in here for, I guess, not more of the crawling, I guess, aspect of it, but it's gonna do it. Oh, I'll turn a little bit here. She's sliding. She's off. And she's back down again. And it goes slower than this too. That's just this thing can. That's almost like it's slow motion, but that ain't slow motion. But yeah, a big old board, and I love it. I love this system. Also, real quick, I didn't do any kind of speed test with this yet, but I feel like it should be more than enough power for a 2S LiPo or 3S. I got 2S in here, and just real quick, I mean, just that's 2S. I can't imagine you needed more than that for a 2S, and even more with 3S. Real quick, I want to do a little forward to reverse, slow, just using the trim. And that's not adding any torque to it. Now let's turn it, start going the other way, and I'll do it with the throttle here in a second. Alright, so we're back down, and now this will be no trim. Try to be as gentle on the throttle as possible to emulate that, except real smooth. You can. I've got no drag brake on, so I'll go full flat and then transition down. Feather it back and forth pretty nicely if you're really gentle with it, so your truck is not jerking off the rock or whatever it may be. Might as well throw everything all in one review here. So Traxxas light kit, got this set up. Pretty self-explanatory. I kind of soldered this, so this could be a lot less wires if you want, but I've got this set up. It's going to pretty much the extender from the receiver box going in just to the receiver. So this black thing here is just going into my receiver box as an extension, and I'm just connecting that to this. I have it spliced for an additional port if I wanted to off of that, but yeah, the winch still powers up if you take this and you go direct power into here, so you can get power coming direct out of that port.